Big news for the government of Myanmar. The government of India has just invited the leader of Myanmar for 5 days of talking. This just comes 2 days after the U.S. leaves India for their security meetings. Hello everyone, it's ASEAN Anthony, and in this video we're going to talk about Modi's surprise invitation to the leader of Myanmar. Now, some background information. Earlier this week, May 24th, May 25th, the U.S. goes to India for their security meetings called the Quad meetings. Now, what is the Quad? The Quad is a group of 4 countries: Japan, Australia, India, the U.S. This is a group of countries that came together to reduce their dependence on China. This group is just like NATO, but they don't have the same type of formal treaties that NATO has, but it is indeed a security group. Now, during these meetings, they did discuss Myanmar heavily. According to the U.S. Embassy, they want a complete ceasefire in Myanmar, and also they are pushing for something called a 5-point consensus plan, and they want the ASEAN countries to join in on this consensus plan. I will do another video about that if I see any progress, but so far, we'll see. Now, this meeting that Modi has just called came quick. I did not expect this. No one really expected this. This just comes 2 days after the U.S. leaves. Now, the reason why this is so big is because this will be the first trip that the current leader of Myanmar has made as an elected official. So since he's been elected democratically, he has not left the country. So this will be the first time. And when he does leave the country, he will be leaving for 5 days. Now, both India and Myanmar have been quite tight-lipped on exactly what they're going to discuss. Maybe we'll know more information in the coming days, but right now we don't know exactly what they're going to discuss. But we do know they will be discussing a lot of business interests. For example, we know that they will be discussing the Kaladin project. Now, the Kaladin project is a $500 million project that's financed by India that is going to run through Myanmar with the centerpiece in Rakhine State. Now, Rakhine State obviously is a conflict zone. And this was a project, a mega project from India that was supposed to be finished many years ago. As a matter of fact, they started this project in 2014, so it was supposed to already be finished, but it's not finished. And so this is one of the things they're going to be talking about. Although we can expect them to be talking about the conflict for obvious reasons. The U.S. just left, and they just made an agreement on what they need to do about the conflict, which is a ceasefire. Now, both the Quad and China both support into this conflict, such that these voices have internationally become louder. Now, Japan is also pushing for a ceasefire. So this is like really big news. Now, recently, after the Chinese government had complained about the lack of project for their mega infrastructure projects being built in Rakhine State, the government had went on an offensive to try to take more control of Rakhine State. They amassed troops in Chin State, the southern half of Chin State that borders Rakhine State. The objective was to go into Rakhine and take more control. But for reasons that I'm not willing to talk about on this channel, let's just say that offensive stalled in like the last 48 hours. So this is very recently. And this is because the resistance fighters in that area are resisting. Okay, I don't really want to talk more about that, but let's just say that the military threat is not going as well as the government would hope it would go. Now, all the information in this video is very new. If anybody wants me to give them the official U.S. statements from the U.S. Embassy, please inbox me. I will give it to you. But this is all new information, and I will be keeping you updated on this 5-day trip that will be coming up this weekend. Okay, the 5-day trip starts this weekend.